Hello, it's me, and I'm going to address some other urgent questions. A couple of them involve the 2x4x6. So, a viewer by the name of Dodi, I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, had a number of questions regarding the 2x4x6. And basically what it says is, can you tell me how to do this? And what I did is I tried to get this set up close to the configuration that he had. You see this over here, and then you see this over here. Now, my color scheme is different from your color scheme. However, the position is pretty much the same. And what you're seeing is you're seeing that these two are flipped up. You've got this coming out over here, a long edge and a short layer, short edge and a long layer. And you've got this over here. So forgetting the color scheme, I think the question had more to do with how to get this in its native shape so that we can deal with the colors later. So the difficulty about a 2x4x6 being an ultimate shapeshifter is you have different sized edges from different layers. And so you end up with something like this. And the whole key to getting it back to the native shape is to free up all the layers so that you can unbandage it. So what do you do about a situation like this? Well, the key with this is to first try to get as many of these down as you can, and you've got it down to where you just have two that are up. When I say up or down, I mean that this is rotated up out of the top plane, and these are rotated into the top plane. So that's the first thing that you want to do, is try to get all these down. So the first thing that I would do is pull these down so that they're in the right plane as the top layer. So that means flip-flopping these and rotating these. Once they're rotated, they're fine. So to get out of this particular configuration, if you have something similar to that, I would go ahead and do a Red Bull algorithm to bring that down. By the way, one of the things that I really enjoy is trying to get these puzzles in the configuration that you guys have when you have a dilemma, because it's kind of like solving it in a scrambled state. And solving it in a scrambled state, a specific scrambled state, is just as hard as solving it in a solved state. So anyway, to do the Red Bull algorithm, hold it in front of you and do 2R. Now my B is going to be slicing down the center here. 2B, 2U, L. And I'm only doing these two layers here as my R's and my L's. 2 up, RI, 2 up, R, 2 up, 2F, R, 2F, Li, 2B, 2R. Now you'll recognize this as the same kind of an algorithm that you've seen with a 4x4. You're going to end up in a situation like this, and don't worry about the color, but you're going to see these two long ends opposite each other, and that's good. You want to get the two short ends opposite each other also. So what you can do is just move it like thus. So these are opposite and these are opposite. Now it's going to be just a matter of exchanging these. This has to come here, while this has to come here. Now understand, this is just the specific situation that was given to me by this viewer, so I'm obliging. Anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to move these pair on the bottom, and this pair stays on the top, so that I can exchange them. So I'm going to take this plane and move it down over here. Having done that, I'm now going to move this into position so that this pair is just under this pair and just go splat. So now what you've done is you've taken it to the native shape, and then you can go on with the solve. So that is how to get it out of that particular configuration and get it to the native shape. Once you're able to do that, go ahead and solve it in the way that will be described, in the way that I've shown in the past. But I'll tell you that I'm about to do a series where another demonstration of this puzzle will happen. So I'm not going to get too much into details now, but that's how you get out of that. So I'm going to introduce another subheading that I'm going to be doing called Viewers' Suggestions. Hi, Jessie.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. So basically, from time to time I'll have a puzzle where, now granted the solves that I do, I try to stick with the same algorithms that I usually use. However, from time to time I get a dilemma or a puzzle where the solve that I do might not be the most efficient that's out there, and I get numerous suggestions from very smart viewers about maybe more efficient ways of doing that. So I'm going to do that from time to time with puzzles, but what I'll do is I'll let you know when a suggestion would be highly useful with that. What I'm looking for is as best as we can using similar or the same algorithms that we've used in the past or with minor variations. So one of the puzzles that I had numerous very good suggestions for was this guy, the 2x3x3 floppy I-cube. Now as you recall, there's an issue with the corner algorithm of doing rotation and permutation, in which I did it at the same time. Now it's possible to do that using one algorithm, but it takes a little bit of setup, and if you are able to follow your way around, I've been able to do it easier and easier. But somebody did, a viewer did come up with a suggestion that I found to be very good. He goes by the name of On My Hip. Great name, by the way. And what this does is, in essence, allows these two to be rotated. And what that is, and what I really like about this algorithm, is just a variation and an extension of a known one. That's the RU, RU, R2U, RI. I've heard that called the SUN. I don't get into the jargon too much, but basically, if you do that and do the opposite, it'll take these two, rotate them by 90 degrees. And the way this works is you do RU, RIU, R2U, RI. Then you do the opposite, LI, UI, LUI, LI, 2U, LI. And what we did is this remained here, they just flipped. This turned counterclockwise 90 degrees, and this, if you face it from the back, also turned clockwise by 90 degrees. So basically, if you end up in a situation like this, rather than have to coordinate it like I did, you just need to do that a number of times in order to rotate this, and you'll get it back. RU, RIU, R2U, RI, LI, UI, LUI, LI, 2U, LI. So you can see it had another 90-degree rotation. Do it again. Now this is a pretty specific puzzle, but in case you run into trouble like that. So with that, I think I can give a much more organized type of a solve with that very good suggestion. Abracadabra. Okay, so if we were to do the solve again, the first part, and actually the most challenging part, is to get it back to its native form. It's not challenging by way of algorithms, you just have to work on positioning. Like I want to move this one up, but it's kind of blocked over here. So I'm going to move this over here. Now there's no real specific strategy. So you're just sort of positioning it and trying to find the best place. This wants to move up, but it can't. So maybe if I do this, but then that blocks this guy over here. So if I turn it twice, and there it is. So I've got these up. That's only part of the struggle. Moving these back in is going to be a matter of turning this perhaps. So now placing these up here, that's again just a matter of finding what might be the most efficient way of turning this. There's a lot of bandaging that happens with this puzzle, so you have to move it just right so that it can take that out. These guys, based on how they're positioned, could be an issue. This will come over here. Alright, so I'll move these two here, and it would be nice if those can move in. So again, this is the more challenging part. And this can move up here. And this can move up here. So now we've got these two that are left. And really what I'm looking for is just the ability to move these up. This comes up here. Okay, now once I have one more to go, I'm scot-free. So this belongs between these guys here, red and blue, red and blue. When I do that, I have to move it 2 away so that when I move it down, got to move it on the right side here. Down, I can move it 2 in. That leaves this one here, green and orange. Down and up. Green and red, which is here. 2 down and up, leaving the last one here. Okay, so now we can do this dreaded last side over here. This is already up, so I don't have to do FRU, RUI, FI. This is in, not in. Move this over here. RU, RIU, R2U, RI. So now I take a look at what I've got. Move these into place here. This is in place. These guys aren't. So now what I do for the solve is with this in place, I'm going to keep sending these around, doing the corner permuting algorithm until I have 2 that are in place. what's going to happen is either this will be in place and rotated right, and another one will be either this one, or this one, or all four will be rotated right, but they won't be permuted right. They won't be in the proper place, but they may all be rotated up. So I just do UR, UILI, URI, UIL. Look around, nothing else is in yet. Do it again. Turn and turn, and then I say, aha, these two are in. Once I have that, I'm scot-free. I just do that special variation of the algorithm, which is doing the algorithm and then doing the opposite of that, which will turn these around. So RU, R, RIU, R2U, RI, LI, UI, L, UI, LI, 2U, L. Not yet. Do it again. And again here. And this should do it. And it's done. So as you can see, a much more efficient solve, and I didn't really have to add any new algorithms. I just reversed another algorithm. So excellent suggestion from On My Hip. So here's another situation that can happen where everything is rotated right, but in the wrong place. You just have one in the right place. So really it's just a matter of kind of shaking it up a little bit, because what I'm looking for is two that are in, either these two or these two. These two is easy. These two takes a little bit more maneuvering. But basically what I would do at this point is I would try to send one around and try to get it in the right place. Anything aside from this, because it's not going to work with this configuration. And if anything comes into place in the meantime, well then you'll use that. But we'll start off with this. This belongs over here, so it'll be out, out, in, out, out, in, too many times around. This guy to come over here would be out, out, in, too many times. So this guy here, blue and red would end up here, out, out, in, out, in. So I'm going to focus on this guy. I'm going to send this around until it gets to here, properly oriented and properly positioned, but if something else ends up in the proper place first, that's not this, I'm going to use that. So I'm going to hold this here, send it all the way to here. Turn, 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 turn. It's here. And again, turn, 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 turn. Same algorithm, now it's here. So now I've got to move it in this direction so that I can keep it coming around. And I'll keep doing that until this makes it all the way around to where it's got to be here but rotated right, or something else is in. UR, UILI, URIUIL. Now it's here, keep it going. Turn, turn, turn. Now it's here, so now I just got to get it to here. I'm going to move it over here and it'll eventually get in there. Turn, turn. And as you can see, this one is now in, but this was the original one, so I'm going to keep this going around once more. Turn, turn. So this is now predictably in. Now with this in, I'm going to hold this to the right. UR, UILI, URIUIL, and I'm just seeing what other one is going to be in. In this case, the whole thing is solved. So when you have all of them up, I just sent it around twice, and in this case, it was solved. There's one other situation that might happen, which looks a little like this. So in this situation, this is in and this is in, so they're across from each other. So this configuration isn't going to work using these two. So when you see that the configuration isn't going to work, either because they're all up or the two are on the opposite side, you want to get things to move, you want to get things to rotate basically, you can still hold it over here and keep doing that soon, anti-soon, that RU, R2U, RI, followed by its inverse, until you get two that are in. Because what's going to happen is this is going to keep flipping back and forth until this is in. So you keep rotating this one until it's where it needs to be. RU, RIU, R2U, RI, then the inverse. Okay, that puts this one in, and this one got rotated. In this case, it just took one turn to put it in, and now you just do the same thing with this. These are both at the side, and these will rotate until they're where they need to be. Turn, 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 and done. So there you have it. Because of the advice of an astute viewer, On My Hip, again, great name, it made the puzzle a lot more simple, and it made the solve a lot less complex without really adding any new algorithms that I would have to memorize, just a slight variation or an extension of a previous one. So among the things that I enjoy about puzzles like this, about demonstrating them, is hearing what you guys have to say. So if you see or figure out an algorithm that fits in the type of algorithm that I'd like, that will make the solve a lot simpler, please, by all means, give me your suggestions. Anyway, thanks for watching.